Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Musings and Music Show. I am Egbembiwan Monjimbo, coming to you on Vosa World as usual, Vosa World Radio and Vosa World on YouTube. So, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where on the planet you might be. I have a panel, not just a guest this time, the whole panel with me this morning for this edition. So, I'm going to have them start by introducing themselves. Not too sure what the layout is for them, so I'm going to go clockwise from what I can see on my own platform right here. So let's do gentlemen before ladies this time then. So let's go ahead and start with the gentleman that we have. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
First of all, thank for having us. My name is Victor Ndando, and I am the CEO and founder of ADA, and ADA stands for African Empowerment and Development Association.
Awesome. All right. Coming down this way, there's the lady in the braids like the ones that I have on my head here. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. I don't want to mention your name because that will defeat the purpose. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, my name, growing up, I was known as Namondo B1, and now Didi Ndando, and any one of those, any combination of those names works just fine for me. I'm the one you will hear the least from, I think, today. I guess officially my title is what? Technical advisor? To Ada and also to any other venture that Victor Ndando has involved himself in. And so, but in reality, I help in any way I can. And I'm here today more in a supporting role. I may show up now at the beginning, interject here and there wherever I see a need, and then probably at the end. But mostly you'll hear from our other partners.
All right, you're welcome. Then we'll go to the lady dressed in mustard yellow.
Okay.
So go ahead and introduce herself, please.
Hello, everyone. I am Inangatoni Ann Louise, and I work with ADA as the administrative coordinator.
You're welcome to the show. And last but not least, we have one more lady. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Mamo Jimbo. My name is Ngoti Stella Ethonombo, and I am the Media Relations Official for Ada Ndando Health and Education Center.
All right. You're welcome to the show as well. Now, I'm sure they've let the cat out of the bag. They've already spoken about what they're really here for. They said ADA. I think that's spelled AEDA, right?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, is it an acronym? What does the AEDA stand for again? I think Mr. Ndando had kind of said it, but he said it quite rather fast. Who wants to actually explain what the AEDA, a little slower, stands for?
I think I can repeat myself. It's
Please
African Empowerment and Development Association.
Correct. So what is it exactly? So somebody says that African Empowerment Development Association, like that could be a bunch of things. What exactly is it, to be more precise?
ADA is a non-profit organization which is based in Cameroon, specifically Limbe.
And so what does it do? So do I just say, okay, I want to be empowered, and I like turn to you and I say, can you give me some money? I want to be empowered. How exactly does it function?
Maybe one of my colleagues might jump in.
Go ahead.
Okay. So ADA is a non-profit organization, just like what Mr. Ndando said, that is passionate about creating awareness on behavioral and mental health challenges that are community facing. And ADA has been in existence since 2021. So we are almost 4 years old now today.
Oh, wow. Congratulations already. The one word I caught, I heard everything, but the one word I caught in what you said was the word mental, like mental health. And I, coming from Cameroon, being an African, I know that we don't necessarily deal too well with anything you call mental. Either we ignore it because we're like, hey, you're having problems, pray, I mean, get on with your life, or we consider mental as crazy, as in cocoa, like mad, and then you just need to be hidden somewhere, put away, and nobody knows about you. Everybody forgets about you. So how has that been, running this kind of thing, mental health in Cameroon, where you have been? Have you met any challenges? What has the response been in the 4 years that you've existed?
Uh, the response has been quite timid, because just like you explained, whenever we mention mental health, a lot of people, the first question they ask is, so are you dealing with people who are mad? Do you people confined? Do you have a confinement facility for people who are mad? But so far, through one of the programs that ADA offers, we've been able to sensitize at least 500 young individuals with one of our programs called the Mental Health First Aid Workshops.
Okay. I think I actually did see one of the photos that you sent that had that kind of workshop going. So just briefly, what exactly do you tell them in that kind of workshop? How this bringing of awareness, like for our viewers and our listeners, they may need to know about it too. They may be what some of them, maybe those who think mental thing is just because you're crazy, because you're mad. So what do you generally say in a nutshell, so that those who did not attend the seminar can already benefit from hearing it from your own mouth now?
Okay. So basically, we have like a structure that we follow throughout the mental health first aid workshops, starting with what mental health is, first of all, and then we go to we ensure to sensitize our participants about mental disorders. So making it very clear what the difference between mental health and mental disorders. And then we then go forward to expatiate on the various types of mental disorders and how to take care of your mental health, how to handle situations where someone is facing mental crises. And we also do have role plays that is incorporated into the training program. So we have an actual practice where the participants can then put in practice what they have studied throughout the workshop.
All right. So that way, the idea would be, if I'm getting you right, to prevent them from getting to the stage where it becomes the thing that we're talking about right here, because we don't realize that by the time you get to that stage of needing to be confined, certain signs, certain things may have happened that you are capable of taking care of. So is this a kind of like, okay, if maybe we should go through the history. Since it's been 4 years old, what did you start with that 4 years ago? What was the structure? What did you have to offer? How has it changed over the years? Talking about the history, where is this even located? Somebody's going, oh wow, they have that kind of a thing. Where should they go to that kind of a thing? Let's walk through that. Say 4 years ago, how did it from the beginnings to where you are today?
Let me just jump in here, as you know, to give a little bit of history. ADA came as a notion that I had about since 2011, when I did form an organization in Houston, Texas called Trans-African Development Inc., which is also an NGO. So with that in mind, what we decided to do was, when we applied for our NGO status, through that, then we became what is called a 501c3 tax exempt organization. We did indicated in our application that we were going to provide services overseas, more specifically Cameroon. So over the years, until, as was mentioned, October 24th of 2021, by that time, I started coming to Cameroon, more often. And I said to myself, well, I mean, what exactly do we want to do? I thought of substance abuse, which is, my specialty, as an LCDC, licensed chemical dependency counselor. And but I discovered that maybe why don't we go into addressing signs and symptoms of mental health. And what we did initially was spoke with Francisca Biaka, with Biaka University. She gave us the opportunity to talk to their students, about mental health, and we developed a feasibility study, which from the observation, we discovered that most of the nurses, they are very, brilliant, but just like any other place, they lack, some knowledge about mental health. So as my colleague just mentioned, that is how we came about developing, the mental health first aid, which basically mental health first aid is just as equivalent as in, first aid, which when somebody have a cut, what do? You apply pressure, of that nature. So the mental health first aid, is to deal with the signs and symptoms. Exactly. And then we, deal with also, again, also knowing that the region that we wanted to provide these services is the Anglophone region because of our crisis.
Correct.
So, yeah. So, go ahead.
No, I was just listening to you and saying, okay, because there's some people who may be listening and not even really understand what is it that qualifies as mental health. So if you don't mind, really quickly, a few of those symptoms, because some people may not be sitting there watching this, listening to this, and thinking that doesn't concern me. Looking at their children, that doesn't concern me. They're talking about those crazy people. I'm not involved. So, what are one or two things that you saw when you're doing the feasibility study that made you say we need this?
Yeah, what we discovered was that many people go through depression without even realizing what depression, is all about. For instance, even within the school at Biaka University and other schools that we've attended, there is also this, pressure when students are going through exams, that that anxiety. Exactly. So just as my colleague says, it's not when you are, so-called crazy, walking on the street and talking to yourself, that's what people see. But there's just a lot that, all of us go through. And I can always speak to for myself because as a child growing up, I didn't have my mother, who left and went to England for almost, 9 years. And so and again, my father was not around. So that itself, made me, in so many ways, going through some changes, which, as someone that has already lived, with that depression, anxiety, and things of that nature. So that is why, I choose to go into this field.
Very interesting. Because what you have mentioned there is exactly what I was saying when I was talking to Bisenanga there. People think, so what? If Papa no day, Mommy no day, then what? Didn't his grandmother look after him? Didn't he eat? Didn't he get a place to sleep? And they don't understand. We, as Africans in general, tend not to understand that that can be a sense of trauma for a kid that can actually affect them mentally. We're talking about depression. When somebody's like sad, a little sadder than the average sad for something specific that happened. So I asked you to go through that so that people could understand that we're talking about things that people go through that we don't necessarily identify as a mental health issue because we are so fixated on mental issues. When you hear mental, we actually say, you don't go, you don't mental, you don't kulu, means you should be running around the streets without any clothes. They don't understand that that affects people. Sometimes you're busy beating up a kid that is not performing well at school. The reason may be very different. We just used to call them strong head picking. They know one learning, no one here 12. You should look in and see that there's a problem and then address it before they ever can get to the stage where that we're talking about, which we recognize commonly.
If I
So
may,
where, go on, please.
if I may just say a couple of things here is that apart from the sensitizing the public
Mm-hmm.
to mental health, there's also the realization that we can only do so much. And then the next step has to be, how do we train some trainers out there or find people who themselves can go out and be advocates in mental health?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, healthy minds, right? I think that was we had a tagline that we came up with that said basically nurturing nurses, empowering minds, elevating minds, because it evolved into how do we get people who are so knowledgeable in this, apart from sensitizing the public, that they themselves can be advocates for mental health. Everybody uh, needs to take care of their mental health. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to be a sickness for anybody
Right.
to pay attention to it. So, but I'll leave it up to them to talk about how that evolved into the
What we
Vocational Training Institute, which has already been existing for 2 years, 1 year program, and
right. So
that's how to expand to really spread the word.
right. So now let's talk real physical things. Where is this entity located? We know it's Limbe. Where in Limbe?
Currently, we are located, we have a permanent site at Mukunda village, Limbe 2 subdivision. That's precisely in the southwest region of Cameroon.
I'm glad you
Very
added that about the Limbe, because when you say Mukunda, the Mukunda I know is up in Boya. There's a village up in Boya that I actually am very familiar with because I have family from there. So this we're not talking Mukunda up in Boya, there by the market at the Palapala field. We're talking a place in Limbe.
Mhm.
So if I
And
went there, sorry, go ahead, please.
okay, and apart from Limbe, we are also located in Bamenda, in the northwest region, precisely at GRA Station.
Okay, that's good to know. So for people who are in Limbe and who are in Bamenda, that they know that there's a location like that. So right now, what services are offered there? If I went there now, what are the structures? If somebody went there, who should be looking for ADA to go, and what do they expect to get from it right this minute?
Okay, so I will just add, give a little bit, and my colleagues may add where I forget. So
Mm-hmm.
presently, ADA offers, we have a host of services that ADA offers, with
Okay.
the first one being the mental health first aid, which we've talked about. We also
Mm-hmm.
have the Vocational Training Institute, which Madam Didi also mentioned, which
Okay.
offers 1 year training programs and is
Okay.
accredited under the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training for Cameroon. So this Vocational Training Institute offers two types of diplomas that our students earn at the end of their training period, which is the Vocational Qualification Certificate or a National Diploma. And apart from the Vocational Training Institute, ADA also has a new program that is coming up, which is the ADA Ndando Health and Education Center. And this is a nursing institution which does not only offer nursing programs, but we have a host of programs such as general nursing, we have midwifery, we have
Oh,
physiotherapy, we have pharmaceutical techniques, and a host of other programs. There are 15 specialties in total.
that is
Yes.
impressive. So we're not just talking about just the mental health, could do the awareness thing, let people know
Mhm.
how I would say self-diagnose for the time being. You actually have a whole education wing of this whole thing you're talking about. School, a whole school, to
Yes.
train nurses. That is really, really, that's big. That's important. And you have there's 15 specialties that are offered, and you mentioned what kind of qualifications that they get. And one thing I caught right there, which has prevented me from asking the question, but I'd like to emphasize, I heard the word accredited. Because you know, people want to learn, sure, increase their knowledge, but most of the time they are learning so that they can put that knowledge to good use and get remunerated for it. They have to live, they have to survive. So I'm glad that you mentioned that these programs that they're going to do, that they are actually accredited, recognized, so they can go look for employment after getting this education from there. So I know that this is what July, August is around the corner. September is coming. That will be what we call rentrée scolaire. So are you saying that what you just mentioned there, these 15 specialties would be available for somebody who has taken the GCE, for example, the results come out and they're wondering, where do I go? So you're saying ADA or the health is you gave it another name. So can you say that one more time? Not just ADA, what's the is it ANHEC you said?
ANHEC, that's
ANHEC?
Ada Ndando Health and Education Center, and in
Okay.
short, ANHEC.
So ANHEC. So I passed the GCE. The GCE comes out, I've passed, and then I do what? Because I'm listening to that and going, nursing, I'd like to do that. Midwifery, interesting. So what do I do? I
I
will
think
just
I'll
pass that
step.
GCE. Please go.
Okay, so just like Miss Tony expertly explained, ADA has two departments. I like to call them departments. There is VTI ADA, which is in charge of mental health education, and it's a 1-year course for different
Okay.
mental health courses like psychotherapy, psychosocial counseling, case management, etc. Then there is the medical science department, which is what she spoke about, Ada Ndando Health and Education Center. And it is under this medical science department that we offer these 15 courses that she mentioned, like ultrasonography, nursing science, dental therapy, etc. And this is what we are newly launching. So the mental
Okay.
health, yes, the mental health department has been in existence for 2 years. But our new department, which is Eden Dando Health and Education Center, is being launched this year. And so this is our first year of existence, and we are looking to have students who pass the GCE this year, come in and register to be our first batch of students, as well as anybody who has had your A-level certification prior to this year, and they would want to get involved in medical sciences, be it in ultrasonography, nursing sciences, etc., to come in and journey with us. And that is where the campus is for Eden Dando Health and Education Center, which is Mukunda Village, like she said.
Perfect. Okay. So now somebody comes to get enrolled. The requirements are just that you should have had the A-level, your A-level certificate.
All right.
Yes.
So yes, but also excluding religious studies.
Okay.
So yes, we needed that to be out there. So you could have two papers, but you could have two papers from any other subject, but excluding religious studies.
Correct. And you're saying two papers because two papers is the pass.
Yes.
So if somebody had their one paper, they don't come and say, well, I have my one paper that is still at one little old A level. I can come and do the thing. So you have to first of all have passed the GCE, which is a minimum of two papers, and then not excluding religious knowledge, and then you can come and qualify. So you don't have to have done. Let me ask this, because in my day, we had the GCE, there was a A1, S1, S2, all that kind of stuff. Is there any particular, what would I call it now, branch of the A levels that you should be looking at? In other words, I did A1. That was literature, English literature, French literature, and French literature, and then what was the other one? And history. So can I come take this? Do I qualify still, or do I have to have specific subjects I should have passed to come enroll?
I think my Meninga can pick up from here.
Okay. So for the general nursing, science, your background doesn't matter if you have a science background or an arts background.
Okay.
But for the other specialties such as the midwifery, it's required for you to have at least biology. It's required for you to have at least biology, as well as for like pharmaceutical science, it's required for you to have chemistry. So apart from general nursing, the other programs that we offer has specific subjects that is required for our students to have before they can take these courses.
All right. So do you have like a document, like a flyer that is going to be out there so people can see to help direct them? Okay. So you did not. I'm trying to help the sponsors listening, people who are going to guardians and parents, people who are going to willing to pay tuition for their ward, for their child, for their student, so that they have an idea what they can do. So do you have some kind of information that is out there? So for this program, requirements are this and this. For this program, requirements are this and this. Do you have that sitting somewhere?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, so where can they go see this? Where can they go find this? Because this is just a show. We can sit now there and go through 15 things that you listed and say, for this one, this and that, for this one, this and that. So where do they go find that information? Is there a website somewhere? Facebook somewhere? Just go ahead and please tell us that.
Yes, we do have a website, and
Okay.
they can get the above information on our website, www.adacam.org. That's
Let's say that a little slower and we'll spell out the things so people can actually hear and know where to go look. So www dot is the easy part. Everybody knows the www dot. What comes right after the dot?
Adacam. That's AEDACAM.org.
Pretty simple.
.org.
Correct. So now it's ADA, like we have heard here, AEDA, then the CAM, like short for Cameroon, and then .org. So they'll go there and they'll find a tab that talks about these things that they can look for more information on before they come and follow the registration process, the cost of it and everything, and go to this. The location and all should be on there. And I'm sure much more information than what we can do here will be sitting on that website as well. Are you on? This is a digital age, cyber age. Where else can people find you besides on the website? Are you on Facebook, Instagram? Where else are you?
Yes, we do have a Facebook page, which is AEDACAM, AEDACAM.
There you
so
go.
on Facebook, we are AEDACAM, and apart from Facebook, which is the handle we are more active in, they can equally reach us via email in case they wish to get more information or to speak to a staff directly. And our email is info@aedacam.com.
Pretty simple.
Yes,
Info, INFO, the @ sign at aedacam.com. Okay. So that I'm repeating this because there's some people who are going to be listening to this on the radio. If those on YouTube can always go back and rewind and forward and find the information that they're looking for. But somebody listening on the radio, I'm repeating it, so if they missed it the first time, they can hear it again, repeated, to find the information that they need. Okay. So now the choices they're there. Out there. There's this institution, there's that one. What would make somebody say, I think ADA is a good fit, is the best fit for my child, for my niece, nephew, whoever is sponsoring them? How does ADA or Anhiths stand out above the rest of the crowd?
Okay, so I'll jump in here.
Please.
So just like VTI ADA is an exquisite organization, school that deals with mental health, ADA Ndando Health and Education Center, which is our major priority for now, is the best place for parents looking to have your children study nursing sciences or other medical sciences equivalent, because one, we do not only teach you theory throughout school, but from the second semester, we have an in-house clinic. So every student who comes into the school from the second semester, they will be supervised practicals in our clinic. So they wouldn't just wait for the third year where they will be posted for internships, but from the second semester of the first year, they would be supervised and get assistance to real-world practicals in our clinic, that is, will be on campus. And secondly, we also have compulsory electives. which is psychotherapy. We understand that taking care of the mind, the health of people can take a toll on these health professionals. So right from the get-go, we are training our student nurses to understand mental health as a prerequisite for your care in medical sciences. So you have the benefit of choosing any medical science program, but also getting psychotherapy, which is a mental health domain, as an elective course, just to give you holistic education as you care for. Yes.
Right.
And then also our tuition fee is competitive. I mean, we have 4 installments for students to pay fees. It's not the regular 2 installments, it's 4 installments where you could pay the first installment is 120. So generally our original fee is 400,000. But we have a discounted early bird fee, which is 370,000, inclusive transport from Karata Junction to the school in Mukunda village.
So if you can get to that junction you just mentioned there, then there's a transportation, there's a bus that will take you to the school itself.
Yes, ma'am. So this is available for those who will register before September 5th. They benefit from the 370 discounted early bird fee.
Registration or enrollment.
Yes. So, but before we get to this part, there is also the registration fee, which is, Mamenanga, it is.
We also have a special package in relation to the registration fee. For those who register in this month of July, we are giving them a special discount of, instead of 30,000 francs, they will be paying 20,000 francs. And for those who will be registering in August, they will be paying 25,000. But after the 31st of August, the registration fee will be 30,000 francs.
All right. So people it's in their own interest. The earlier you register, the better. So it goes from the whole 10,000 that you could be saving to saving 5,000 to now having to pay the full thing because you cannot make up your mind in good time. After hearing all of this, I do not know what else it is that you'd be waiting for. Because the part I caught to was a clinic, that there is a clinic right there. Does that now mean that the population too can come? Because people are going to learn not just by looking at the instruments and the equipment there. People are going to be coming for treatment there. So that means whether you're sending your child to school or not, there's also cases that can be treated there. From what I'm getting, there's a clinic there. So
yes,
I'm not feeling well. Like, what kind of condition can I bring there that I would expect health practitioners already to take care of? So if I'm not doing the education part, what am I bringing? What can I bring there that I can expect a health professional to take care of for me?
Okay, so considering it's a clinic, and the most very, I want to use the word common, pathologies that are being brought to clinics. So you would have checks for malaria, typhoid. There would be an ultrasonography center where people would just want to check on the general health of your tummy, or pregnant women as well. Because when people hear ecography or sonography, they think only of pregnant women. So it's sonography or ecography is for everybody, just to check your organs, your internal organs. So we would have care for common mental health pathologies like typhoid, malaria, just general common illnesses that are common within communities. They will have access to care and also medication. So it's not just a clinic, but there would also be a pharmacy that could also aid them to attain the medication prescribed by the attendants in the clinic.
So it's pretty much a one-stop shop. Because you know how in my day at least, you go to the hospital and they say this is wrong, this is what they diagnose. Then they say, here is the prescription, ordonnance, take it. Then you now start hopping from pharmacy to pharmacy, trying to find the thing. So now we are talking about a place where they give you the diagnosis and what you need for the treatment itself is like right there in the same premises. Okay,
yes,
that makes me sorry. Was somebody going to say something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I was just going to say real quick that it's kind of like general medicine. So what you call a family doctor, the primary, there might be indicators for things that people have a lot of. Hypertension and diabetes are very common. things that a lot of people face. So primary care, basically like primary care, what we call primary care. If you're going to, if there's something really intricate, that clinic is not going to be able to handle everything. So then you can get a referral to somewhere else.
Who's the specialist here?
Where the difference is that this organization is not trying to make a profit. So you'll find that going there gives you pretty competitive care and
Prices.
modern equipment. That that's one place too. Is that sometimes you may find a place that offers healthcare but doesn't have modern equipment that gives you an edge to be able to get some diagnosis or handle some certain things in a more effective way.
Right. We have all heard about the common thing about they say you just go you sneeze and somebody they say you have typhoid. That used to be the that used to be the thing that we hear here. They say what you have to say they say I get a typhoid. I mean the whole of the population of Cameroon had typhoid like that because people they're not diagnosing specifically what's wrong. You go with the basic symptoms, they just declare it to be malaria and typhoid, and then you're given some medications, and then later on you hear the person is much more serious than they thought, which this would help. And if they find that you need more specific help, then you can be sent, you can be referred. That's the correct word she used to some place else. Okay,
Let me
so
just jump in here, if you don't
please
mind.
do, please do.
And one of the things that is unique about the clinic that the board of director and myself during our board meeting we've been discussing is also the possibility of trying to encourage medical practitioners who are in the diaspora to also participate. Let's say they are coming for a two weeks holiday, to find time to come to the clinic and provide their specialty. So that is one that we're embarking on, which we think that is very unique. From dentists to, I mean, you name it, gynecologists, those people to come and provide those services. And so we will be working with them, and have a roster of maybe someone is coming in August. We line up people who falls in that
Category.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that they know to they get to consult with somebody who
Exactly.
knows. And it's a win-win situation even for the person in the diaspora here going out there. That's how you build your experience. That's how that's how you build your experience about, you get a broader sense of what's going on someplace else and get your experience that way, because there's no doctors, no profession exists where you don't improve, you don't see more, you can't just stay stagnant. So that will be good for them to get the experience, and then the population also benefits from their expertise. I think that's
Especially those
something.
doctors that wants to do a tropical medicine,
Exactly,
So,
exactly. I'm guessing that maybe not even just only the doctors, not even the student doctors here.
Yes.
If you're studying medicine here, you're doing tropical medicine, this is not the tropics. The United States is not the tropics. You are doing tropical medicine. You should be going to where the tropics are, where you actually see
Exactly.
the conditions. Just a quick anecdote there. There's somebody who came from Cameroon and was not feeling well, went to hospital here, and they thought he was just dying because they're not used to it took an Indian doctor to say, hey, have they tested this guy for malaria? Then they tested him and found that it was malaria that he was suffering from. That's something which we don't have out here. So they just couldn't understand what was going on with him. Nobody thought to check for malaria because they are not trained that way. So that's somebody who almost lost his life for something as simple as malaria, which nobody suspected he actually had. So that's a good thing. Now, I've heard so much about the place and how many things there. Curious, just curious. How vast is this place? Like square meters, what about the hectares? How vast is this entity we're talking about? Who
Um,
knows?
it's half a hectare, and we have, I would say, you have the educational component, you have the clinic, and then you have the office and the mental health, component. It's huge. It's a huge project, and I can rest assured that it is going to be one of the best medical center, in Limbe. No doubt about that.
It's not sounding like only Limbe. It's sounding like the Southwest Province. It's sounding like the Northwest Province. It's sounding like Cameroon. You never know. At this point in
Absolutely.
time, no point being modest. Because if you have all of that, because we do have those things, but rarely do you find them all assembled in one place, a kind of one-stop shop thing. So you are looking for education, you get it there. You are looking to get treated, you find it there. You are looking to do your mental awareness, things to do with mental awareness, it's right there on the same site. It's pretty special. I'd like to say congratulations to all of you for doing this. Cameroon needs it. That's for sure. I don't necessarily live there, but I go there often enough. I hear the stories and see the things. We cannot have one a health place too many to serve that population. And the population in both the Northwest and Southwest provinces is exploding, it's growing. And you're talking about mental health up there. We know, who are we kidding? There's been a crisis raging for going on 10 years now. The people involved, there's a lot of trauma out there that needs taken care of. And then the stories are many. People are there that do need this mental health, the component, and then the education part of things as well. So, sorry, were you going to say something?
I don't know
For me,
about or but all I was going to point out is that you asked about the size of the facility, the location, of course. I wanted to say that the transportation from and Stella also had mentioned transportation from Karata Junction. It's a well-known junction in Limbe, but this school is really only 5 minutes from Karata Junction. The school is taking the initiative to offer this transportation because that area is just opening up now. I'm sure in another few months, there's going to be a pretty busy place and people will often be going up and down there. This may not be needed anymore. But at the beginning, because this is the first thing that is being constructed in that area, even though right now, as we started construction, a lot of other facilities, even boarding facilities are started to
You're breaking up a tiny little bit there. You were talking about boarding facilities coming up. That's the next thing. If you live in Boya, live someplace else, you cannot take that van. The van is not coming up to mile 17 to get you. So what happens? So please address that. You were breaking up a little bit. I don't know whether it's just for me, but you're breaking up a little bit. Can you say that part about boarding again?
No, I was saying that Ada itself right now and Heck doesn't offer boarding facilities. However, when people knew that it was coming up in the area, people that own land in the area are starting to build boarding facilities. However, I'm not sure, I cannot say, we cannot say exactly when those will be ready. But if you in the Limbe area or you live in the Limbe area from Karata Junction, which is very popular, people go up and in and out of there. Until that place opens up more, there'll be transportation offered from Karata Junction to the school. It's only 5 minutes away, but people may be reluctant to go there on public transportation if they don't feel like there's enough traffic for now.
Right.
But the place is opening up very rapidly. So
right.
Yeah, it's basically on the stretch that goes from Karata Junction and meets the road that goes up behind Mile 4 and continues up through Sase to Boya, location-wise. So it's not it's really just a few minutes from Karata Junction.
Right. The truth is the whole of Limbe is pretty small. The whole of
That's
Limbe is pretty small. There's no way. In my day, we just walked to places. So and now I guess that's good information. And we are hoping that as we are doing this, not just the people involved in the education and the midwifery and the mental health are listening, but the people who own those plots of land, or people who are looking to buy those plots of land around this area, be the first to go ahead and build, knowing that you're likely to have how would I call it, tenants who'd be attending this school. That's what somebody with foresight does. In my day when I went to University of Boya, I was the second batch there. All the places that you see around there, none existed because there was only the School of Translation and Interpretation, which I went to, and the campus was enough for us. So there was not a thing but just trees and grass. now you go there, there is not a piece of land available for you to actually put a toe on because they've built everywhere. And those they're never ever without tenants because people are living there. Students are living there to go to school. So somebody who's listening now, maybe somebody who has their a plot of land there or is looking to buy that plot of land. So now they know, well, build and build accordingly because your space may be rented to a student who is looking to attend Anhiths. So at this point, I guess I should, is there anything, if there's anything that I've not covered, I want to go ahead and find some images that you had sent and let's just go through those. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick and we can go through those and you tell me what's going on in there. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do this and then hit the share button right here and you can tell me if you see. I think I can collapse this one right there, take this one off. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
All right. So who is this lady we see right there in the there? That's obviously a nurse. Who is she?
Oh my goodness, that is my dear mother, Grace Nsela Ngu, and she left Cameroon, went to England to do nursing, and she became I think they called her matron, and
Yes.
but she died, there after 9 years, and we are. Myself and my wife, we are thinking of dedicate, the nursing school on her behalf.
In her honor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's good to be named after her because that was her profession. You can see how they used to dress up in those days. Really correct and proper. And so this is in England where she went to school.
That is correct.
Where she did her
Yes.
training. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be an excellent way to remember her, that to keep her legacy going.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. And then here I see this right here. As the image changed to the next one that you can see as well.
Yes, you have.
Okay, so what is this we're looking at?
Okay, well, I can. This is what we call, the 3D, if and it's what the after everything is completed, which at this point we are in the finishing, phase, of the entire building. This is more of the what it is going to look like.
The structure of what is okay.
And the landscaping.
Beautiful.
But again, it takes a lot of. Yeah, we've spent a lot of money in the about 100 and something million CFA, and so we're taking it step by step at this juncture, so as to for the building, to be as is being shown, right now.
Right there, I see the cars. That will be the parking lot right there and stuff like that. And then this is the main entrance, and I guess the other little areas would be in there somewhere. Let me see what else we've got here. Okay, this you've gone over this. I see the history, what your vision is, the education center, and things like that. I guess are those programs we're talking about listed here, and the cost of them. And you said this is available on the website, so let's not spend too much time on that. But it's good to at least see it. I see another how would I call it now? Angle of the building from this side. Right. Wow, it's impressive. It's impressive. So those were the programs offered. Now this is like this flyer, which I think I'll share this one because I see the requirements. You see what I was asking? Entry to A-level subjects and the fees are healthcare services that you have, the programs offered and why choose AIDA. This is summarized neatly onto this little flyer right here. And I'm letting it stay there a little bit because somebody who is watching on YouTube is going to be able to hit the pause button and actually read this and see get the information there if they cannot go to the website itself. And here, what are we looking at? I guess equipment.
Yes, those are the layout of how we envisioned for the health
consultation.
The consultation room, to look like. There's just a little bit a short story here. One of the physicians that is interested to become a part of our institution said, "Sir, my office is too small. That we need a bed, because that is the way, things are done here. That in the doctor's office you have a bed." And I told her, "Well, I do not think so. We have 6 examination rooms, and you're gonna leave your office. Then when they've done the triage and things of that nature, then at the end, then the patients are placed in the respective rooms, that you will go to those rooms and attend to them." To her, that was strange. And we are trying to bring some, other way of the way treatment, has to be done.
Is done. Correct.
And we have
this is, let me stop this. Hold on a second. Let me stop this so I can actually hear you. Go on. Oh, sorry about that.
No, we're just saying that we have state-of-the-art, equipment that has been shipped from a medical bridge in Houston, Texas. That was partially donated, to us.
Since you're an NGO, you're doing it. You're community oriented.
That is correct.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So okay. I kept on hearing when we talk about VTI Ada. I see it then now on the thing at the back there, the backdrop there. Is this one of those programs that you did?
VTI Ada is the mental health section of Ada. Just like Ada and Ndando is the medical. Yes. Okay. Trainees and the trainers.
Okay, I see. And what do you remember? What year this was? What time this was? When did this happen?
Mami Ndando will definitely go with that.
Yeah, this was in the year 2024, September 2024 to be precise.
Okay.
Yeah, so and it was an event defense, which is part of the requirements for completion of their vocational qualification examination. Okay. So we have the trainers, the trainees, and we have some members here representing the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training and the panelists for the defense.
Wow. So take it seriously. You can't just go there and just have a field day and maybe get somebody to do your exams for you, because you're going to have to defend. Yes, you're going to have to defend the thing. So are these the certificates then that they got? I see them holding something there.
This was their reports. Their reports.
Yeah. Like when you do your defense of your thesis, when you have the actual thesis booklet, what you did.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yes. And then I see them here. Is this an exam they're taking, or what's going on in this one?
Okay. This is the mental health first aid workshop with some nursing students. Yeah. So apart from the general public, we decided also to create sensitization awareness, mental health awareness with students who are already taking nursing courses or programs in different nursing institutions. So this is one of the institutions where we were at here in Limbe.
Okay. And then, this now I guess would be the diplomas that they got, or the certificates that they got, from what I can see here at the end of the program.
Exactly, ma'am. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's good to see these things. So you've talked about them, but it's good for people to actually see them, so we'll know that it's real. It's not just something people are talking about. It's real. I see the little van there, and the white choosers things that are going to be like available on the website for people to see. And I guess we're done with that. There was a video too. Let me see if I can find that, and we can. Okay, here it is. Turn up that volume. Wow, I'm going to stop the share here. That is pretty impressive for what you've all been able to achieve so far. I caught the little part about IDPs, which I think everybody now knows that stands for internally displaced people. So you do that too? You actually reach out to that segment of the population as well?
Absolutely, yes, we do, and
Mm-hmm.
we've been able to provide, some, services. What we tend to do is ask them what are their immediate needs, and you'll be surprised. Some just the basic food, items that we've been able, to provide to them, but also find out about their mental health, status, which is,
Mm-hmm.
paramount, and some of them they've missed loved ones, and so we have to assist them in basic counseling
Grief
skills
counseling, yeah,
on how to survive.
correct. Survival skills and stuff. Wow, I'm really impressed at what I have really seen there. And I guess what you have said, what you have seen, speaks for itself. But you know, one thing I was thinking about as well, do you do partnerships? In other words, somebody's looking at all of this, you said how much it costs. If somebody's sitting there saying, I'd like to come invest, would you be open to that?
Oh,
Somebody listening to
yes.
this who has a lot of money who says, hey, I have some money sitting there somewhere I could invest, or I could come be what? Offer classes there, lectures and
Yes.
stuff. So are you open to that kind of a thing?
Yes, ma'am, we are. I would like to call them career parents. Yes, we
Okay.
would like to call them career parents or school parents, where they would be able to take on payment of fees for students who are very passionate about learning, but at the moment do not have the financial ability. So we are open to those kind of partnerships for sponsorships and scholarships for the students of our school. And I think that one thing we might have missed out is at present, the certification we give for people or students who go through ANEC is just the higher national diploma. We are looking forward to making the BSc available in the following years, but presently it's a 3 years length of studies, and you are awarded a higher national diploma after writing the exams and going through with the defense. Yes.
Good. And talking about placement, anything about that? About because when they've done now and they got the HND thing, now what about placements? Can they turn around? Some of them turn around and work right there at Anhec. What about going to hospitals? Do you have connection networking pretty much to think about where they might get placed? That do you have that kind of a thing, that kind of program to help them? I know it's on them. You've provided the education. It really technically is on them to go find employment. But is there anything you do to facilitate the process?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So we are already creating partnerships with hospitals and health organizations, most importantly, because when we talk community health, it's not limited to just the community, but research and all. So we are creating partnerships with clinics, big hospitals, as well as health organizations, just to help them with job placements after school, so that their integration into real world experiences is seamless, so to speak.
Perfect.
And I believe
Perfect.
there's also scholarships for further education. In Naga, you mentioned one that we had an MOU with, an agreement with already, and there's others that we are other resources that we are pursuing right now.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one, but scholarships for further studies. Some people, we hope that many people will stay locally and work locally, but I know there's others who want to go abroad and continue from there. And Inaga, you are the one who can probably speak more to that, those opportunities that are already in place for students, for our students, and the ones that are being pursued. By the time they graduate, definitely we'll have those things in place.
Okay,
So,
so we already secured a partnership with EduBridge, which is an international organization well recognized, and this organization usually organizes the camp fair. The camp fair is like a student fair where we have students mobilized from various institutions, and they come and do the various institutions and establishments from where they can get their required information on the next step to take after their graduations from their advanced level, from the upseats where they get their advanced level certificates. And this institution, EduBridge, is going to have a department at Anhiths where students can get information on some of the requirements for them to have international scholarships post-graduation from Anhiths, and as well as where to further their studies for those who wish to go out of Cameroon to further their studies with their HND, because so far a lot of students with the HND they have been finding difficulties for those who want to go into get a master's with HND internationally. But this organization is specialized and has signed partnerships with other institutions in Europe, in the United States, Asia, and at very affordable rates. Yeah, for those who will not be able to get the scholarship.
Who choose to not work. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's important. And to speak to that, we hear it all the time. They're doing restrictions. Many countries are doing restrictions, Western countries, restrictions on who they give visas to come into the country, but then they actually are asking for nurses. That's one bracket of the population that they're not saying don't come. They're actually saying, can you please come? Here's what we're even offering you to come. And it's difficult for you to come and start from scratch from here. Oh, that's why they're already asking for the nurses, not for you to come and start the training, but for you to already have some training before you even get here. And they can, of course, make you do the little basic courses you need to do to integrate this particular system. But you'll be doing yourself a favor if you already have that from your home country through a place like Anhiths. And by the time, sorry, when you're applying already saying, I have the training as a nurse. And those ones that are giving visas for those. Whereas if you're saying, I'm just coming here to come and I don't know what to start from scratch, it may not be that easy, that simple. So I'm at the stage now where I'm like, I've heard a lot. That's quite a bit to digest. Any last word from anybody who wants to say something that we may have missed, or just put out an appeal? What does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we conclude?
I may just have to I would just like to say that first of all, our intent is to get about 250 potential, students, and also to make an appeal to our, fellow Cameroonians who are abroad, that we are also open for MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, if they have any, if they want to do anything in Cameroon and then they don't know how to go about it. I think ADA has got a track record, in the medical arena, that we can work with them and, and be able to facilitate any ideas, that they see fit, as long as it relates to, mental health and physical health, that, we'll be able to work with them.
Work with them. Okay, that's great. Anybody else? If not, I guess what we've heard and seen, were you going to say something, Mrs. Ndando, or was it Nangata was going to speak? All right. If not, what we know are the next steps, and if anything that you did not catch from here, there is a website to go check out. There is Facebook to go look at. There's names and there's numbers there that you can always call, and email addresses that you can always write to if there's anything in this that we did here that you do not quite understand or need more information about. So I guess there's such, I usually end with an appeal, but this one, there's so many people involved in this that I don't even know who to say I'm appealing to. From the parents and the guardians who are going to sponsor people, from the population of Limbe that has ailments and needs to go consult a doctor to see what's going on there, to those who are supposed to now go build rooms and apartments for potential students of this institution, for those who are trying to partner with them to actually make the place better and offer their expertise and their finances. Pretty much everybody listening to this or watching this has a role to play in making this succeed, because if it succeeds, it's a good thing for us all. It's a good thing for Cameroon. It's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for Africa. So if there's no more to talk about to add, I will then be closing this up and wishing Ada and Anhiths a lot of success, because if it succeeds, we are all the better for it. There's nothing like doing all the other things we do. If you're not healthy, you cannot do them. So whether you're doing organizing parties here, having fun there, doing other things, you cannot do any of that if you're not healthy to start with. Healthy physically, healthy mentally. And this is taking care of that. So I cannot thank you all enough for taking the time to come talk about this institution. I'm hoping you have to instead even, unfortunately, reject some students because you're at capacity. So, but if you listen to this, you better not be the one rejected, because you should instead go and enroll early for less right now in July, and not be one of those weeping sometime at the end of September saying, I didn't get a place this year.
Speaking of that, real quick, I think maybe it might be a good idea. We gave an email address, website, but I think a phone number also will help for people who just want to pick up the phone and call and get more information or come. So, Inaga, maybe you want to repeat the number that they should be calling?
Okay.
Okay, so this number can be reachable via WhatsApp or via call. That's 673.
I'm going to repeat it after you. Just hold on a second. So each set of digits that you say, I will repeat them after you. So go on and start it over again.
Okay. 673.
673.
97.
97.
33.
33.
99.
99. One more time, and I'm going to go with it again.
Okay. 673.
673.
97.
97.
33.
33.
99.
99. And as I told you before, somebody's on the radio, that's going to be it for them. They need to be able to hear it, and by the time they grab a pen and start writing it down, that's why we're saying it over again. For those who are going to watch this on YouTube, they get it. Or those who are watching this live, when it airs, they're going to be able to get it. And so I guess on that note, I will say thank you, Mrs. Ndando. Thank you, Mr. Ndando. Thank you, Mr. Nangatoni. Thank you, Ms. Stella Iyabi. It's been great having you on the show.
And thank you so very much also, Vosa World Radio and Egbe Connect. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, ma'am.
My pleasure.